Hi, I'm Becca Anderson. I'm a playwright and musical theater writer. I do book and lyrics. I'm based in New York City, and this is my shockingly big New York City apartment because I live in a neighborhood no one's discovered yet, so I can't tell you what it is because I don't want anyone else to discover it. But a little bit about me as a writer. I started as an actress and realized I hate auditioning, but I still needed a way to be creative without getting other people's permission to have that creative moment. So writing was that for me. And when I realized I needed to be a writer, I went to NYU's graduate musical theater writing program, where I got to study with incredible people who work in this field, William Finn, Michael John Cusa, just tons of brilliant people, Sarah Schlesinger, and it was a great opportunity to really hone my craft, realize why it is that I've always loved musical theater and theater so much, kind of from the inside out. And so that was just a great program for me to kind of figure out who I am as a person and who I am as a writer. And I was lucky enough to meet some fabulous collaborators during that program who I still work with today, Julian Blackmore and Dan Marshall. So we had a show at the New York Musical Theater Festival a few years ago called Academia Nuts, and it won Best New Musical, and that kind of like solidified, yeah, okay, we're gonna have to keep writing together because what we've got is really working. And it was a very exciting moment in our careers to kind of not even just getting the acknowledgement that the show was good, but us really realizing how much we loved it and how much we loved each other, and working together was a big moment for me, and I hope for them as well. We're still writing together, so I'm gonna assume so. But what I'm working on right now, I am going through a checklist tonight of rewrites that need to happen for my Christmas musical Snow Way Out, which is about 4 people who all want to spend Christmas alone, and through an Airbnb glitch and a snowstorm wind up stuck in the same cabin, and all of the situations that they were trying to escape or avoid with family, they kind of relive in these different situations. And because they're with strangers, it really makes them take a look at themselves and get a better understanding of why they always have the same fights with their family, why they feel the way they do with the holidays, which I think most people can relate to. Earlier this evening, I spent some time working on a grant application, which I'm sure all of you are quite familiar with, but that's where I am right now. It's what I'm working on right now. And there was a question that Therese asked on the first of these videos, which was it was along the lines of like, how do you handle being vulnerable in your work? And I've been thinking about this a lot since she asked it, because I feel like it's not something I think about. I feel like I just throw myself in. And so it's nice to take a step back and acknowledge that that is what I'm doing, that I am being vulnerable by putting my work out there and by sharing it. And so why is it that I feel I'm not terrified by it? And I know that some people have a trickier time getting their work out there and sharing it. And so I wanted to figure out why it is that I feel like it's not scary to me. And I think the reason is because I'm very aware of my own power. And by that I mean my power as a person with agency. I have had a privileged life. I'm a white lady. And so I'm aware of the fact that I can call the shots for myself to a degree. So if someone says, oh, I don't like this in your script, but I really like it, I know that I don't have to take it out. And if someone says, you know, this isn't working for me, and I can acknowledge that it's not working for me either, or I can see why it might not be working for them, I know that I have the power to own that and say, you're right, this doesn't work. And I can fix it. I have the power to do that. And that's the exciting thing to me about the writing process, is the back and forth of figuring out what does or what doesn't work and getting the responses from audiences and feedback from peers. And I feel like every time I choose to acknowledge and own that something doesn't work and that I can fix it, I grow in that power. I get a little stronger and better at it. And I think that really jazzes me and makes me fear less or fearless. So just owning your power and knowing that it's there, even if you don't always feel it, it is there. You're the person who put the words on the page. You're the person who gets to rewrite them. So that's thrilling. I think just really being aware of that power and that strength and knowing that you're honing it every time you use it is what helps me get through, and hopefully that helps other people. And I don't want to preach. But I do want to say, before I close out, because I've gone over time, thank you so much to Jen for starting the Facebook group. It's lovely to get to meet all these different writers, these female musical theater writers and composers from around the world. And thank you, Therese, for starting the blog. This is a really cool way to interact with other musical theater writers from around the world. So thank you. This is awesome. Bye.